Hey my loves, welcome in, and welcome back to the channel. All right, before we get into this message, I want you to take a deep breath with me. All right, not a rush breath, not a get it together breath, just a soft inhale and a slow exhale. Okay, because today's message isn't to motivate you, it's here to deprogram you. All right, and if you've been feeling restless, frustrated, behind, or like something should be happening faster in your life, this message is for you. Okay, and Spirit wants to talk to you today about ego versus sacred timing. All right, this is our topic today. We're gonna get into this because I want you guys to be very clear on the difference and what the ego actually is and how we can utilize it to the best of our ability. All right, so welcome into Divine Golden Master, where we master being divine at this 3D reality. All right, my name is Lex. We're going to jump right in. So y'all know I have my notes so I can stay on track, because I can start rambling and I don't want to do that. Matter of fact, let me turn the timer on so I can see where we're at the time. But yeah, so first, let's take our deep breath. And take one more. And you want to take the deep breath from your stomach area. All right, so we're here now, okay? So first, let's clarify something, because the ego gets misunderstood a lot. The ego is not evil. The ego is not bad. The ego is not your enemy, all right? The ego is a survival mechanism. And when we utilize it for what it's for, we reap better results. It is the part of you that learned how to stay safe in a world that requires speed, performance, proof, and productivity. The ego learned, if I don't move fast, I'll miss out. If I don't keep up, I'll be left behind. If I don't show results, I won't be valued. If I rest too long, something bad will happen. So, when the ego rushes you, it's not trying to sabotage you. It's trying to protect you using outdated information. It's trying to protect you using outdated information. So we got to think about our body and ourselves as, systems and like programs, So when you think about it like that, it's like, when did my ego establish these things, Here's how your ego speaks. You should be further along by now. Everyone else is doing better than you. Why isn't it working yet? If you don't act now, you'll lose your chance. You're wasting time. Notice something about your ego's urgency. It always sounds anxious. It always sounds loud. It always sounds absolute. Ego does not speak in nuance. It speaks in presence. In pressure. Ego does not speak in nuance. It speaks in pressure. Because ego believes speed equals safety. And this is why I told you guys years ago that we're not killing our ego. We are integrating it, harnessing it, and using it correctly. Because when your ego is used correctly, you can reap benefits from it. But when you are allowing it to control you, then it will control you, and it will also keep you stuck in a survival state. All right. So how spirit speaks and why it feels uncomfortable. Now let's talk about spirit. Okay. Spirit does not shout. Spirit does not pressure. Spirit does not threaten you with timelines. Spirit whispers, spirit pauses, spirit waits. Spirit says things like, rest here, not yet, slow down. This needs more integration. You're safe to pause. And this is where many people get uncomfortable, right? When it's time for that pause. That could be protection a lot of the time. Because spirit's pace feels unsafe to the ego. So you really have to know and be able to identify that ego within you and when it's rising up versus when it's your spirit, right? To the ego, slowness feels like danger. To the spirit, slowness is where alignment happens. Why spirit moves slower than ego? Spirit moves slower than ego because spirit sees the whole picture. Your spirit has that inner knowing. It already knows, right? Spirit accounts for your nervous system, your emotional capacity, your healing timeline, your subconscious beliefs, the people who must exit before certain blessings arrive, the version of you that must exist to hold what you're asking for. A lot of times we think we're not manifesting something because we're not worthy of it, because the whole time our timeline is being integrated with that manifestation, and it takes time to get into full alignment and get it to be fully integrated within our frequency, our realm, and our reality. So remember that, and remember that when you think it's something that's going slow, it's probably just being integrated into your reality, right? Shaped into your reality. Because you may not be a vibrational match for what you are desiring. And spirit could be pushing you into being that and guiding you into that direction. But it's for you to be aware that, okay, that's what's going on, and not think ego-wise of like, why is it not happening now? I need this now. I must not be good enough. Ego only sees the outcome. Spirit sees the consequences of premature arrival. All right, look at the sun, y'all. Sunshine on me. I just said the sunshine on me. Period. All right. Some things, if they came too early, will overwhelm you, re-traumatize you, lock you into the wrong version of success, attach you to people who would drain you, reinforce old survival patterns instead of healing them. So spirit says wait, not to punish you, but to protect the future version of you. The truth about delays is, let me tell you guys something important. Delays are rarely denials. A lot of times people see, they will manifest something and they see it happens way after their timeline, or when they forget it, or blah, blah, blah. That's because it's not on our time. Delays are usually recalibrations. Things are being worked out. Gears are being shifted. They happen because you're shedding an old identity. You're unlearning urgency as a trauma response. You're transitioning from hustle to embodiment. You're being rerouted away from timelines that no longer fit. Spirit will slow you down when your ego's about to run you straight into burnout disguised as success. Okay? And if rest makes you feel guilty, that's not intuition, that's conditioning. That's the programming that's around, right? You were taught that worth comes from output, stillness equals laziness, ease must be earned through exhaustion. But spirit does not operate on that system. And even like a lot of women rest more than men because they are recalibrating their environments and shifting their environments and the places that they exist in, right? They're even transmuting different energies, right? with their divine feminine energy. So a lot of things that look lazy or no, they want you to be tired. They want you to be where you can't think, you exhausted, you got anxiety, so you go rush and eat that processed food, and you go rush and do something that you wouldn't normally do if you was in a peace state of mind, or if you was in a higher vibrational place. Okay? Spirit restores before it expands. Spirit stabilizes before it accelerates. And spirit grounds before it elevates. Okay? Rest is not a pause in your journey. Rest is a part of your journey. And let me ground this for you. You are likely moving at the right pace if you feel quieter but more discerning. Old goals don't excite you anymore. You're less reactive. You don't feel the need to explain yourself. You crave simplicity. You're redefining what success even means. That's not stagnation. That's identity shift. And identity shifts always happen before visible movement. And this is why a lot of people like, oh, you changed, or They want to keep you stuck into an identity. But you are more than that. You are constantly changing. You are constantly evolving. All right? And identity shift always happens before visible movement. It must transpire in the spirit before it manifests in the physical. All right? And here's the part that the ego doesn't understand. When spirit does move, it moves fast. But it moves fast without resistance, without force, without burnout, without chaos. Things line up. Doors open. People appear. Decisions feel clear. Energy flows. That speed only works because the foundation was built slowly. So if you've been judging yourself, you've been comparing yourself, you've been rushing yourself, I want you to hear this, and I want you to hear this clearly, and I want you to hear me now. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not missing anything. You are in a season of sacred pacing. All right? And this season is teaching you how to receive without collapse. Living in this social media, do everything for a like culture, sometimes we can really get caught up in what's real and what's not. So today I invite you guys to release urgency as a survival strategy. Release it. You don't need to chase what's already finding you. You don't need to rush what's being divinely assembled, what's already yours. You don't need to pressure yourself to become who you already are. Do you hear me? Trust the pace, trust the pause, trust the protection. I love you. Thank you for being here, and I will see you guys in my next message. Let me know how this resonated with you guys down in the comments. And how do you notice the difference between your ego and your spirit? How do you know? What usually is the signal for you guys? Peace, my love.